Of course, I always say a brief video, and it always turns out not to be quite as brief as perhaps I'd intended. But there are just three things I wanted to mention today. Firstly, we are quite overwhelmed here at the refuge by the response to our GoFundMe campaign, which was looking for support for us to bring proceedings in the court in Marrakesh to ensure that the road leading to our refuge is not swept away by water. That has been blocked by neighbours who have chosen to build a wall, which we deem, and I have to be careful what I say, to be without permission. Thank you. We really are quite touched, and we are proceeding. But this morning along came a server from the court in Marrakesh, because already some of the people on the other side of the Shabba were trying to stop us building our wall, and one of those people had brought a claim against us, still saying that our road was a public road, when in fact it isn't. It does belong to us. It is within our boundary. And we're very pleased to say that the papers we got from the court were to tell us that the court expert is coming here on the 23rd of December. He will have the opportunity to see all our plans, but also study the bornage itself. Of course, in the separate action trying to stop us building the wall, that has been postponed till next week. But the really interesting thing is that although we have plans for a wall to be built and we have approval, we've only built a very shallow wall, 1 metre deep. And the purpose, of course, is, as I've explained before, is to have a track that we can run the horses up and down. Now we're building that wall in stone, and simple fact is that is permissible in Morocco to determine our boundary. It's only walls over 1 metre high that we need to get authority and permission for. So it all seems a bit of a waste of time and a nonsense. But the most important part is us trying to preserve the Shabba, which is alongside our property, and people have blocked, and it's washing away the road towards our private property. Now, so again, that's by way of a brief explanation. Secondly, our soap. We took some soap back to the UK, and my daughter Catherine has been in charge of retailing that, nearly run out, but it's gone extremely well. And I recently posted a video explaining that the soap is absolutely pure and comes from the olives here that are grown on the grounds at Jargier. And I'd also like to take the opportunity to say that we have been approached by several people that we should be using donkey milk to enhance our soap. We would never do that. We really wouldn't. All the animals who come here come in a pretty poor state. And if babies are born here, their mothers have been through a great deal. And we don't want to get into the business of donkey farming, because to put milk in soap on a long-term basis, we would have to breed young donkeys, take them away from their mothers and milk their mothers. That is quite contrary to everything we believe in and hold dear at Jargier. Thirdly, Morocco is in the World Cup tonight on the semi-finals, and we are all very excited. I think they've done magnificently, and I've already put our thanks onto our page. And we really appreciate the warmth and the generosity of the people in Morocco who support their home team in a very straightforward way, which is, to me, seems a little different to the support they get in the West. Our team here in Morocco is very much Moroccan. They don't come out onto the field as sophisticated professionals. They come out to play a game of football. And just watching them at the last match, I've got to say this, and it's my own personal view, is that it is quite wrong for people to say, maybe in the UK, I've heard them say, oh, they're not really Moroccans, they're all born abroad. That's not true. That's not true. They are true Moroccans. It is an entirely Moroccan team. And as I watch them line up in their defence and their demeanour, it very much reminds me of the men I see who still come to the festivals on their horses, who of course defended Morocco against all invaders, where they rode forward in a line fearlessly and determined to win. I saw that spirit in the players in that match, and I think there's a lot to be said for the spirit of the Berber men particularly, which is reflected in the matches that they play. Of course, alongside those 3 points, the work of the refuge goes on, and Ayoub's out in the morning. I hope he's not up all night after what we hope is going to be a successful win for Morocco, because we're bringing a donkey that has been injured about an hour and a half's drive away. So the work still goes on. Very sadly, we lost one of our horses last night. And I don't like to have to tell people that, but that is the reality of bringing very damaged, very injured animals into the refuge. But on the whole, we're okay. Thumbs up, we're doing well, and I'll report back in perhaps tomorrow or the day after. Bye for now.